Welcome on into Booby's World right here on the Big Play Network. I'm Nick Padone. He is Daniel Booby Gibson. Rafa Hernandez Brito with us.
Hey, time out. I need an introduction with the right song.
Oh,
Dun,
my
dun,
God.
dun, dun,
Hey,
dun,
listen,
dun, dun, dun.
I'ma
Go ahead,
I'ma
introduce me.
I'm gonna go back on the road. If this what I'm coming back to, I'm going back on the road. I'm out of here.
How are you guys?
Raf, how are you?
I'm
Let's
doing
start with
great.
that,
You
yeah.
tell? Yeah.
Clearly, great.
If you guys didn't get the hint, Raf, big Michigan guy, he's very excited about that team up north. They're heading to the national championship,
Yeah, baby.
playing Washington.
Man, I just knew the Horns was gonna have a chance to rumble with you.
And
I was hoping.
And
for
I
that
guess you guys
moment.
are all Huskies now. It's like, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
I was
don't
rooting
think
for the
nobody-
Longhorns, though, man.
Were you?
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
I love the
appreciate
Longhorns.
that little hook 'em energy. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a great season, man.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it all.
Yeah, that's former Ohio State quarterback Quinn Ewers out there
Hey,
too
listen,
for the
man,
Horns.
He for the Horns now. And when you wear that burnt orange, man, ain't nothing like it.
All right, so what's up, guys? What's new, Booby? It's good to have you back actually in here.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to be here. I wasn't expecting to come back into the Michigan whatever theme song, but it's been fun, man. My Shooter's U has been just rolling, man. It's just been a blessing to be able to get out there with those kids, teach some hoops, and just see the smiles on their faces, man, getting out there. That's been the most enjoyment. Obviously, I've been running around with the Charge and doing some scouting for the Cavs, but just been a lot of basketball, man. Basketball.
You split in Vegas in the showcase, but I've been seeing the videos of the Shooters U.
Yeah.
And I know you're used to working with, close to getting to adult kids, right? And scouting them and everything. But how great is it to work with kids that actually just get excited to be on the court and shooting the ball?
It is the best feeling, man. Even just watching them warm up. You just see the pure joy. Like, we do these little stretches where they hop out and they just do like the little twist. And it's like they warming up, but they're not thinking about anything else but just how fun basketball can be. And it brings the joy back for me, you know what I mean, being able to teach them from such an early age and then watch them grow, because that's what Shooters U is. We bring them in at the beginning phase. You have some kids that come in already as intermediate or advanced, but you bring them in at the beginner's phase and just watch them grow year by year and just continue to have camps and just see where you can take these kids, man. See if you can teach them that B form on that jump shot, baby.
That's Scout Booby gets in there, and
Hey.
maybe you see a kid that you like the way he break his wrist or the way he takes the jump shot. And
There's a couple, you know what I mean? Write the name down.
Booby
and
scouting
slide-
5-year-olds.
slide it to the side, you know what I mean? Especially if you see the ones, the best part is when you see a kid come in and he never really been taught how to shoot the basketball at all. And then by the end of that day, when we start to play 3-on-3 and 5-on-5, you'll see him make a shot and then he'll look over there at you like, it works, you know what I mean? And that, to me, those are the wins that you work for every single day. And so the camp, we pretty much trying to run one every month. But at this point, as many times we can get out there with those kids, man, we will.
And at that age, nobody shoots layup, man. It's all
It's
threes.
Is it?
But that's why Shooters U. Like, we teach layups, but at the same time, you gonna find the range when you come to Shooters U, baby. Let it fly.
Those days were so fun. I remember back to when I was a kid, going to the youth camps and,
Yes, sir.
Booby Gibson comes in and it's just
Yeah.
so fun. All right, guys, we got a packed show today. On today's show, we are going to discuss the biggest storylines about our Cleveland Cavaliers. They are holding true. We know we had some big injuries, but they're finding a way. We're going to discuss the biggest headlines around all the NBA. So we'll go around the league. We're going to rank top 3 playoff formats in sports. So give Raf a little bit more time to talk about his Michigan
We
Wolverines.
ain't including college. Yeah.
See, I said it before he could even get it out.
He's waiting for that.
Then we'll do our new segment, Worst Take, where Rafa is going to...
Say it right. Dumbest take of the week.
dumbest take
spicy though.
of the week, where we'll break down some of the bad takes that have been circling social media. So
Yeah.
don't go anywhere. More Booby's World straight ahead. Welcome on back into Booby's world right here on the Big Play Network. I'm Nick Padone. He is Daniel Booby Gibson. Rafa El Calde Hernandez Brito with us as well. All right, guys.
Signed.
Yes, sir.
It is time to break down some Cavs headlines. We are a month away from the NBA trade deadline. The Knicks and the Raptors already made a deal. We saw OG Anunoby on the move, RJ Barrett on the move. What types of moves, if any, do you guys expect the Cavs to make over the next month or so? Currently the 7th seed, only a game and a half out of the 4 seed as the time that we record this.
I appreciate you thinking that I'm that high up in the organization that I would know what kind of move the organization will make. I appreciate it, but I tell you what, I have a lot of faith in Kobe Altman and his staff, with Mike Gansey, the general manager, obviously Kobe Altman, the president of basketball operations, that we will do whatever they think is needed to make this team much better down the stretch, especially with the news of Ricky Rubio coming out earlier in the week about him finishing his career.
Shout out to Rick.
Spot up, and we can talk about it all day about what a gentleman he is, and how I love the fact in the letter he put out, he made sure to mention even by name the organization and the people responsible to make sure he was so grateful for Cleveland. And not just the Cavs, but also the city for welcoming him, for giving him the space, and we wish Ricky. I call it a bittersweet moment because we always hate to see him go because he changed us. I think that his arrival changed completely the way or added to what JB Bickerstaff was already trying to build. But going back to your thing, it's bittersweet because we hate to see him go, but I'm so happy and thrilled to hear that he's doing well and he's on the mend, and obviously whatever it is that kept him from coming back, he's solving, and we wish Ricky lo mejor del mundo, para to say it in his language. But back to this thing, I think Kobe is already working. I was talking to Mike Gansey last week, and when we had an event with the Cavs United members, and they were like, they're always working, they're always scouting, they always have their phone ready and ready to go. But I think there will be something done. I don't know what, but hey. That's my take on it.
I mean, as you can see, I run around the states watching players all the time, right?
Yeah.
But have no idea. All my job is to just go out there and find talent and send it their way, and it's their job to figure out which of those pieces could potentially help. So again, I wouldn't know if we were even thinking about making a move. But I guess what I love to see is that we're obviously facing a lot of injuries right now and got a lot of guys out of the lineup. But what I feel has been great for the team is guys have been given, the guys that are here right now have been given the opportunity to step up and get minutes and play. And that will only vote well for us at the end of the season. When you think about Sam the man being able to get
Summertime.
Man, you know I love a shooter, man. Sam is shooting that basketball. But like Max is finding his groove, being able to get more shots up. I mean, obviously Don is going to do what Don. And that was my next one, man. It's bittersweet. Because as a Charge member, I would love to have an opportunity for that kid to play. But then when I think about the front office and when I think about a Ricky Rubio move like that, I can only think about a guy like Craig now who will get a full opportunity to continue to grow. And he's earned that right by how he's played with every minute he's got on the floor.
And the other thing you gotta think of is like the return of Garland and Mobley will be kind of trade deadline moves because those are pieces that are going to be added. I don't want to say we're surviving, but we have figured out a way. And in a way, it's always you gotta take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
Those injuries not only have given Merrill a chance to get his confidence up because now you can tell he plays in a different rhythm, right?
I knew.
He's looking to shoot the ball now, and he had 6 assists on the first game against Washington, and so those Porter Jr. got the minutes that he needed to get his confidence up too. So when those two pieces come back, it's just a matter of what is it that you want to add to that roster spot. Because at the end of the day, we have 1 or 2, I believe, roster spot.
Because ultimately, that means like those you hope that because these guys are getting that experience, that they become new players by the deadline or by the end of the season. Players that they didn't start, that they players that they didn't start the season as. You know what I mean? Going into the playoffs with more confidence. J.A. is playing out of his mind. You know what I mean?
He's been eating
you know what I
rebounds
mean?
like
more
crazy,
space
man.
on the floor. So I think that we're in a good spot. Like you said, if we want to add somebody to the roster, it would definitely help Bo for the playoff push that we're trying to do. You know what I mean? But I just love the fact that with the injuries, you hate to see them happen, but they've given guys an opportunity to show
I got to
out.
tell you something. We discovered a serious need to go back to that Cavalier basketball, which is like a team.
Yes, sir.
The ball moving, the sharing of the ball, that extra pass, that one more, and then the best. It's not the open shot; it's the best possible shot to be taken.
Yeah.
And I think once those pieces come back, and Craig Porter Jr. I was asking him today, and he's like, we kind of finally have to figure out that we are better in this style of game. And the Cavs winning these games, where every night somebody has a career night or a season high night. The first game against Washington was the best team night of the season with 140 points, season high in scoring, season high in assists, season high in rebound. So everybody knows that they have to step it up. So when these guys come back, it'll be great to see how the rotation is going to change. Obviously, right? You're not going to be able to play 10, but.
That's the part that scares me.
Yeah, but listen to this, though.
That's scary.
This is the weird thing about how great the moment that the Cavs are having right now is because that first game against Washington, Wes Unseld Jr. threw the towel, per se, bringing in his third stringers, like at the beginning of the fourth quarter. We had nobody but Damian Jones to bring in. Everybody who was available was playing and was playing great against their first unit.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to see how there was. I mean, when JB looked down, there was no Imoni and no two-way guys instead of CPJ.
They were hanging out with us.
They were hanging out with you, right? So, but it was great to see how there was nobody else to bring off the bench.
Right. No, I feel like it's just been incredible for these guys to get all this experience during this time, and I feel like it's just gonna set us up, like we said before, to be ready down the line.
All right, guys, let's talk about something that Raf had brought up, and that is Ricky Rubio's buyout. Obviously, we are hopeful that everything is good with Ricky, and we are very appreciative for the basketball memories that he gave us here, a veteran that was really a part of this team's turnaround. And I had that same exact takeaway, Raf, of 12 years in the league, and he made sure to call out the Cleveland Cavaliers organization by name in that final snippet of his farewell to the NBA post. So best of luck to you, Ricky. Financially, this move will help the Cavs, as well as it also opens up another roster spot. So they do have that flexibility and that wiggle room to make a little bit of magic happen. We know Kobe Altman's the guy that's capable of putting that all together.
And I'm sure they have already thought about this the moment they started thinking of the buyout and talking to Ricky, because the Cavs have been in touch with Ricky, but for his personal reasons. Right. There was really, I don't think, a thought of it until we lost 2 starters and then 3 with Donovan Mitchell going down for a couple of games in that same period. So I'm pretty sure Kobe Altman, this is not something that he's going to catch him by surprise. I'm sure they have thought about options and they have their board already filled. I'm not allowed in that room, by the way. And
really?
and they have the board ready for when the phone has to get picked up and make the move.
Yeah, man. Those guys are always prepared, man, and that's what they do. That's what we can say about our front office, and I think that's a testament to what Ricky was speaking to, that they make you feel at home. Those guys are prepared for everything, and we've built a great organization, man. Just walking into that building every day and feeling the love and feeling the energy, whether we winning or losing, is a direct reflection of, I feel like, what Cleveland is all about. You know what I mean? They're going to show up whether you winning or losing.
I always love the story, when Ricky Rubio got traded to Cleveland, he actually he was in the middle of almost single-handedly beating the U.S. in the Olympics. He got 38 against the U.S. in Tokyo, and he got the message, I guess, from his agent that he was being traded, and he actually considered a buyout, like coming to Cleveland,
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I'm a vet.
He took one phone call from J.B. Bickerstaff, one phone call, and he bought into the thing. Right. That whatever J.B. talked to him, and we know, whatever he was talking to him about, but that is how powerful is not only the ability of JB Bickerstaff to express whatever plans he had, and he was working great because the night he got hurt in New Orleans towards the end of the year, he was leading both teams in scoring, rebounds, assists, steals. He was close to getting a triple-double.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like I always say, things happen for a reason, and we all hope that this is the reason that it's going to be for the best of Ricky and his family, and so on we go.
Nah, for sure. And like I said, I'm big on mental health, and I'm big on hearing. Yeah, I'm big on hearing that he's doing well,
and he's looking to help people that are going through whatever he went through, which is great.
What you just said,
he just wants to figure it out.
That's why you say these things happen for a reason, because people look up to him, and for him to go through it and become human and be like, oh. Those guys, those NBA guys,
those invincible dudes,
they are human too, and they go through it too. But like you said, there's a kid that's watching him go through it and survive it and come out clean on the other side, and that'll be motivation for kids in the future.
Like he mentioned the date. Something happened to him on July 30th that kind of changed the course of his life.
Yeah,
and we're glad to see that he's on the mend.
Yeah,
and that he's actually looking to help people. That actually, obviously, something that people go through. So
I think that's major.
Vamos, Ricky.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said by both of you guys. We'll move forward. The Cavs play against the Nets in Paris on January 11th.
Oh, no, that's a salsa.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of it.
Rob, you brushing up on your Duolingo, man? You got some of the French down?
No, I haven't had really good experiences in Paris because the people have been rude to me in Paris, so I'm not gonna. My wife is loving it. My wife is loving the opportunity.
I say not rude.
I never told you my story.
No.
I was at a restaurant and the waiter didn't want to speak English to me, and the menu was only in French. So he the only words he said to me in English is that I should learn French. and I said to him, "You ungrateful bleep bleep bleep. If it wasn't for us, you'd be speaking German right now." Right? So my friend said, "Oh my God, you pulled out the World War II card." But that's what happened when you poke the bear, right? He was telling me to go learn English. I'm like, you know what?
Guys, we're here. Rob, you are absolutely crazy. We hear all the time about these road trips, especially like when the Cavs go out west. We hear the stories of those road trips really being bonding experiences for the group. This is like that trip on steroids, right?
Yeah.
Like, Booby, what is that like, when you're able to travel with the whole team for an extended period of time? And I think the nice thing here is they only got to worry about one game. It's go out there, play one game, and come back.
No, it really is one of those moments where you get to build camaraderie and that togetherness as a unit, because you really go out there. I mean, the other team is facing the same thing, but you got the long flight, and then y'all go across the waters, and then it's just y'all. You know what I mean? It's just y'all to have those experiences. And what you learn in the NBA is you end up spending more time around these guys than you do with your actual family. You know what I mean? And so this will be an experience of a lifetime that a lot of these guys won't ever forget, and they'll be able to experience it with your teammates. And so in that moment, you get to go through it off the floor, and then on the floor, you get to get out there and compete against another team. And again, just continue to build that culture that we feel like when it comes to the end of the season, that's gonna help us win games when it gets tough.
And you know what's great? You mentioned the camaraderie and the team building. Usually, like right now, we go on the road on the West Coast, right? And you have guys that have been there and done that. You have guys that is the first time they're doing this. This is almost everybody's first time.
Right.
Because it's the first time the Cavs play overseas, a regular season game. Right? So unless somebody in the group was in Detroit or Chicago last year, like nobody really had done a regular season game overseas and a whole week to play just one game. So I think that's great for everybody to go through it together.
Recharge.
And I'm pretty sure the Cavs are going to be ready for everything the guys need. And I'm excited for the game over there. I mean, it's going to be, I think, at 2 p.m. here. Right, since it's an 8 p.m. over there, so I think it's great in terms of growing the game.
Yeah.
In terms of that, and we are going to play. We play Victor Wembanyama before we go to
the homeland.
We'll practice against the French.
We're good. So we'll learn a little bit that night. Just as long as they don't got no Wembanyamas over there for Brooklyn. We good.
Good. But it's like I think it's an exciting time for the NBA, for the Cavs and the Nets, and for everybody, for all the fans in the world. I have people from Spain coming to the game.
Nice.
So
we. That's all I know is from France. It's we and French fries.
Bro.
Maybe French toast. That's about it. It's
I swear,
baguettes over there.
when this got announced, we looked it up on the show. French fries, not actually French.
not
They're
French.
from Belgium. So we got to lean on them. We got to lean on them for the toast. All right, straight ahead. What's
But they speak
wrong
French, so.
with the Lakers? The Browns clinched a playoff berth in
baby.
Week 17. Flacco
Flacco.
fever. I think Rafa's got a case of it.
Yo, Flacco,
Don't go
baby.
anywhere. More Booby's World right after this. Welcome back into Booby's World. I'm Nick Padone. He's Booby Gibson. Rafa Hernandez Brito with us as well, guys. It is time to go around the NBA and the rest of the world of sports. But before we do, don't forget, guys, cast your All-Star votes. VoteCavs.com.
Yeah.
NBA All-Star voting is open now through January 20th. Votes count ×3 on every Friday from now until the 19th.
Donovan Mitchell is 4th in the guards in the East. Come on, Cleveland. Come on, Cavs Nation.
yes,
Vote Cavs.com. We need the Spider to make his second straight start.
The best 2 guard in the game right now, starting in the game. We gotta have that. Come on, Cav. Let's go.
Vote Cavs.com.
Yes, sir.
All righty. Guys, what's wrong with the Lakers? That's the simple question. They've lost 8 of their last 10 games. They're 3-9 since winning.
They got a banner up, though.
Tournament.
They
got the banner.
Season tournament curse. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it can't be that bad because Tyrese Halliburton is first in voting.
He's still
and
balling.
if he wasn't for the tournament,
balling. I don't know what their record is, but he's still balling. He balling.
yeah, he's balling against Milwaukee. That's for sure. I don't know what's wrong with the Lakers, man. Every time you think they're gonna come back and like figure something out, it's too many pieces there.
I know one thing I see is they make a lot of big changes quick. Like, like D-Lo is now coming off the bench, and it's like when you make a move like that, like this is an adjustment
kind of
period.
desperation.
Yeah, and there's an adjustment period for that too. So it's like, sometimes you gotta just ride the wave of a long season, but sometimes it does call for extreme measures. But I just feel like in the midst of the struggle, when you switch gears like that, it sometimes makes it harder to find a rhythm and bounce back. Because I feel like AD's been playing well. I feel like
Braun is playing Braun. Yeah.
So it's like those guys still had a piece. And thinking of I got you. But thinking of trade deadline, their name always comes.
But
up.
imagine that more changes.
Right.
I think their problem is that when they stop making shots. Because Braun has been kicking it out,
but see,
and then the shots not falling.
And that's the thing when you look at the lineup.
During the tournament, everybody was making shots.
When I think about Braun, I think you always got to put a team together that matches his style and him finding
put Booby in that corner, man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna knock that thing down. But
Booby's island.
But at the same time, like they added a lot of athletes, a lot of long arm guys to defend. But then what happens with those defenders is guys end up sagging off of them and starting to protect the paint and making those guys make shots. And I think that's what it's going to come down to at the end of the day for the Lakers is can they make shots when AD's doubled or Braun draws so much attention?
And I think right now it's AD and Braun and everybody else. They can't seem to get together and have a good run together because Hachimura has his moments. Yeah. What's the name? The Duke kid. Cam Reddish had his moments. Yeah.
And they gotta take advantage.
Reeves
man.
is
when
Reeves.
You got a healthy AD, like you don't know how long you got, so you gotta take while you.
That's
got
another question.
Listen, why? And he been he had like 40 and 20 in that in the championship game of that. I think the other night he almost. I know he had 38 and like 16 going into the fourth. So he's been killing. And I want to see them put it together, though. It's always fun when the Lakers are
But like you said,
the
when they go to teams that are making those role players beat them, and those guys are not making the shots, because sometimes it's just Reeves coming off the bench and doing his thing. But Reeves is kind of like an automatic 20 right now.
Right. And I think teams know that.
Yeah.
And they making it. And even if they want to make a deal, they like, hey.
They're leaving Reddish and Hachimura out, and then just go ahead, you beat us.
Right. And all teams that's coming in for deals, we need Reeves if y'all want to make one, and I don't think the Lakers is willing to do that.
I don't think so.
Alrighty, guys. Raf's got the hoodie on. Flacco fever is here. The Browns clinched that playoff berth in Week 17. Rest versus rust. What do you guys make of that? Because it's going to be Jeff Driscoll starting the final game for the Browns. Any concern about the Browns, Raf, as we squeak towards round one?
Listen, don't make me put you in this. Don't make me put you in the next segment with that take, because if Joe Flacco was up,
about to say.
if Joe Flacco was up for 2 years and you worry about him resting a week, come on, man. Like,
I think he understands.
that's my
how to
answer
play
right there.
Off of rest. I think if there's anybody in the NFL that can play with a little rest, it's Joe Flacco.
No, but I know. That's my right. It's like, you have guys in football. You can't rest everybody, right? You gotta have guys that will play.
Right.
You gotta have guys that will be dressed and have to be ready to play, because anything can happen. So it's hard to go into a game and a sport like so violent like football,
Right.
and not being mentally ready to be like, in basketball.
Right.
The coach will have conversations with Porter Jr. or with whoever it is on the bench and say, I don't think you'll be playing tonight, but just be ready just in case. But so that way they work a little harder in the pregame warm-up, because they know they're gonna have to break a sweat. Otherwise, that's it for the day, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But in football, man, it's like it's 3 units that have to play, and some guys come out limping. Somebody else have to come in for them. It's not like so. I don't think rest is the worry here. I think they all welcome it, Nick. I mean, Myles Garrett is 2 sacks away to tie Reggie White.
Yeah.
Trust me, I can tell this to Flash. I'll be a lot happier for him to get a sack in Vegas than one in Cincinnati. Right?
Yeah.
So forget about the numbers.
Agreed, man. Just from a player standpoint, it is a tough thing though, because when you're rolling and when you're playing well, the last thing you want to do is take that week off and then have to try to find a rhythm.
But I'm sure they're practicing.
And not saying that will happen, but as from a basketball standpoint, sometimes what we would do is, even if it's just still going through your warm up and still going through checking into the game and maybe just playing the first half. Or maybe just playing, like, you know what I mean? Just getting you some
have a couple
minutes.
of runs, like what they do in the preseason.
Right.
They play a couple of drives.
Just to get the adrenaline going, just to get maybe just one set,
Yeah.
or 2 sets. Because, like, it does matter. You know what I mean? Just the feel of the building, the feel of the arena, like, just staying in that zone, like, that they have.
I get that, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's from a player standpoint, that could always help. But like you said, there are some guys that have been there and done that. And they understand what it takes to be prepared week by week. But I do think the Browns do have a lot of new pieces in new positions that might want to continue to roll the same way they've been rolling. Maybe like, for example, the running back, like Ford. Maybe give him a toss or a carry here and there just to
break a sweat in.
Yeah, keep him rolling.
That makes sense, in cycling. Like when they do the races, they do like the Tour de France. They'll run for 6 days, and then the off day, they'll go out for a 100-mile run, 100-mile ride, but just just to break a sweat. Because apparently, when you don't do anything, the lactic acid kind of like builds up, and then so you have to go in and drain it. So I can see them doing, but I'm not worried about rest hurting Joe Flacco, for example.
All right.
He didn't hurt him at all sitting in his couch for 2 years watching YouTube and stuff. So I think enjoy the moment.
I just start barking, my bad.
The fact that the Browns are in the playoff, I don't even have to worry about week 18 or whatever week we're in right now.
It's a beautiful
Just
thing.
one wish that I have for the NFL: do not schedule the wildcard game on Monday, because the Caps play on Monday. So let's do Saturday, Sunday, take your pick, and let us enjoy the game.
I think you'll be all right, Raf. And we are going to talk more playoffs straight ahead. Which league has their playoff seeding figured out? The guys will rank their favorite playoff setups when we come back. More Booby's World right after this.
By the way, that outfit.
Welcome on back.
Is that supposed to be like a mad looking thing?
Yeah, I just like it. You had the little swag.
That was the most annoying TV show, by the way.
Say? Browns and win.
What was his name? Alf? What was his name?
Alf. A-L-F.
I'm sorry, Nick.
You've never seen him before?
I just look at Alf.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
He had the chain and the glasses.
Yeah.
I had to rock with it. Love the stuff.
Always fun having it, like give people a little peek behind the curtain. Under this desk is
oh my god,
all the fun.
He's a magician's hat. Here.
all the fun little knickknacks that the Cribs have brought on into the studio. They got all kind of toys and everything else under here. So I think Booby got a hold of a bag. All right.
Yeah, it's a little bit everything.
Go home.
Oh no, this is.
That's
fire.
a DeLorean,
this
man.
Back to the Future, John.
Yeah.
This tough.
This thing.
All right, we have turned this show into show and tell. Josh and Maria, I'm sorry that they're messing with
Let's make a deal.
What's all love?
I'm good.
Let's make a deal.
All right, guys, we are going to rank the top 3 playoff formats in sports. This is obviously very relevant. The NBA playoffs, we got a good taste of that with our Cavs, and we know what that is because we got a really good taste of that 4 straight trips to the NBA Finals with LeBron James not too long ago. But then also some of the other sports. The Browns are about to get into the NFL playoffs here. You got the NHL, NCAA, March Madness, Raf, of course, your Wolverines. What are the best playoff formats in sports?
You know, I like baseball. I like baseball because it's everybody criticized what was his name? What was the commissioner's name? Bud Selig when he came out with the wild card and all that, and now everybody loves the fact that there's some extra. Before it used to be just like the pennant and that's it. You go to the World Series. So I like baseball a lot, maybe because I'm a baseball fan and I think it works. Football is great. I wish they reseed them. I don't know if they do. Do they reseed them? Yeah, right. Because the Ravens will play whoever is the lowest seed.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that factor, that portion of the
Me too.
of the reseeding.
Me too.
Which I don't think the NBA does.
No,
Right?
you
The
just
NBA
you
is
go
like-
in there.
It's like a bracket and you play. So I think I like that they reseed. And then I don't know. I still don't. My jury is still out on the playing thing and how those games don't count for anything. And it's like
Yeah, it's its
So-
own thing.
it's I don't know. Those are my 3 that I would, And then in 4. The Final Four, the
Like,
March
like-
Madness is the best.
Yeah, March Madness.
Win or go home, man. There's nothing better than that. Come on.
Yeah.
Listen, you know me. I don't got no answer for you. I don't. Baseball.
You don't like either one?
Baseball don't watch too much. Hockey don't
I
watch
was
too
shocked
much.
about that you're not a baseball fan.
Football, I really only watch like my teams, whether it's Browns or the Texans. There's the only ones I'm watching.
Well, you might get a chance to watch them both.
Yeah, hey, listen,
If
what
everything
I do,
works.
I mean, I'm big on if I'm thinking playoffs. I like games that matter. So if we gonna just keep it along those lines, I like the football playoff because it's anybody can get it done because it's just what is it 4 games, 3 games, and
Yeah.
Well,
you the
4
champ.
to get to the Super Bowl, yeah.
March Madness the same kind of way, like win or go home. Like I like those type of environments for fanfare and for buzzer beaters and for that type of action. So I would say those are probably my favorite formats. But if I'm keeping it a buck, I only watch basketball. So
You
I'm
know
a little-
one thing?
I'm
You
a
know one
little
thing I don't
biased
like?
when it comes to
I love the NFL, right? The playoff and everything, but I hate the fact that when they go play the most important game, they go to like a nice
Yeah,
dome
I
and
don't
nice
like that.
indoor temperature. When they play the playoff in the frozen tundra
And
and Kansas City
you didn't work
frozen.
your whole season
they
to
go
have
play
the best
in-
record.
they go
and then
play inside.
Play somewhere with a team that has a less record is closer to, and they got more fans. in
But
the
then they go
building.
play inside.
Yeah,
With beautiful and
They take
everything.
away
It's
your
like-
advantage.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I think I like the reseeding portion of it. I think that's very good.
So
Yeah.
you rolling with the college playoff, the whole thing?
I think with the college playoffs, I would have done 8
yeah.
because 9 has no business complaining. If
Right.
you're not the best 8, one of the best 8 teams, come on.
Somebody's
right?
still gonna get left out though. You know. how
I
that
know,
goes.
but it's
Somebody
like, dude,
right
you've
at-
been
right at
left
8.
out after 9, after 8 teams. Come on. Like, you
Right,
really think you could win the title? I
Right.
mean, right? So 12, I think, is too many. And then for sure, there'd be nobody complaining. I mean,
You don't think? You don't think 13 is going to be a little
but
mad?
he got no
Everybody
business
know that.
complaining, though.
What if you're undefeated
Nobody's
at
gonna
13?
care about 13 complaining. It's another thing when you have an undefeated team that did everything they had to do to get picked, and then they got taken out. Maybe rightfully so because they got killed in the. I'm speaking of Florida State.
Right.
But come on, those kids did everything they were asked to do. They ended up undefeated, 1, 2, or 3 games that had no business winning to stay undefeated, and then they decided to just, you know what, you're not worthy anymore,
Nah,
which
that
they
was-
weren't. But
That was
but
tough to watch because you see all those kids
But I think-
in the room
Yeah.
watching it. watching
12 gets away with like there's no way you can have anybody complaining for being in the playoffs. So I don't know how. Do you know how that's gonna work? Are they gonna give a bye week to the first 4 and have the other? Because then now these guys are playing straight up. Because that's one thing I don't like about college football playoff. That we're talking about Flacco resting for a week.
Yeah.
These college kids go without playing for a month,
Yeah,
to
that's
play
a
the most
long
important
time.
game of their life.
We're
Yeah.
talking about rhythm. Ain't no way to keep
Think about
a
it.
game rhythm.
We're talking about Flacco
With
and
a
Miles
month
Garrett
off.
going off freedom for not playing a week.
Even as a fan too, Raf, like it makes me kind of
kills it.
lose interest. Like in the NBA, NFL, like NBA
right away,
especially.
man.
You know,
Yeah,
I got a
they
1
waste a
day
little
break,
time.
and then we got action. You know, NFL. I know that next Sunday it's gonna be.
and then you
action,
throw
but-
in the portal now that they don't want to play because they enter the portal and they don't want to play because they don't want to risk their chances in the NFL. It's
Some
like-
of these bowl games this year have been tough.
when it comes to going on typical, you really have to pay attention about who's in the portal, who doesn't want, who's going to be entering the draft, because it's like, and then you have, I don't know if it's the NCAA's way of paying these small schools that don't get anything, right? But when you have balls between two teams that are 500, it's like, really? Is that a postseason?
Hey, listen, man. The one thing the NCAA gonna do is get that money.
When you have Syracuse playing,
the money.
Syracuse played a ball game with a tight end playing quarterback.
Right.
Come on.
And it was a bowl game with a name on it, and that's what
That's the
Sorry.
money, though. I know. You don't say no to money. I understand, and I agree with you,
They gonna have
NCAA.
100 bowl games
But-
as long as they paying.
Yeah, that's the way of the NCAA making these small schools
Right.
get something, because at the end of the day, it's going to be the SEC and the Big 50. Now it's no longer the
And
Big
that's
10.
and I'm glad you said that. And I ended with that. Like, they have to add more teams. If they're going to put all these teams in the SEC next year, like, we had our chance this year being in the Big 12, but now Texas going to the SEC, Oklahoma going to the SEC.
Everybody's going
They
to
gonna
SEC
have
or
some
the Big 10.
losses. Yeah, they're going to have some losses in them conferences. So I'm curious to see how that plays out with so much talent.
I want to see the kids from UCLA and who else is coming to the Big 10? UCLA and who else is coming to the Big 10? They're going to have
Oregon.
to come all the way here to play Penn State, and they're going to be making
trip.
2-week
They
trips
ain't
to the
gonna
East
like
Coast.
that. They ain't
These
gonna
are
like that
college
cold.
students, man.
Leave that sunshine for the cold. They ain't gonna like that.
Did you
I
guys
don't know.
see? Did you guys see any of the memes from the Pop-Tart Bowl? Anybody?
No, but I heard something eating it, like a real Pop-Tart or like...
It was like the mascot. Booby, you got to look it up, man. It was a real life Pop-Tart that like ascended out of this gigantic toaster at midfield, and it was an edible costume.
It was edible,
and
yeah.
the mascot was just like devious. Like he was grabbing the refs, like you know what? Like he was just running around causing mayhem.
People, they were eating
After
the
game,
mascot.
they were able to eat the mascot.
But there's nothing nastier. There's nothing
going
nastier
too
than
far.
that ball where the winning coach gets dumped on a big gigantic jar of mayo.
Oh, the Duke's mayo.
Yeah,
Oh,
that is nasty.
Yeah, I ain't seen none of this.
I used to. I remember the orange ball or the rose.
Basketball, March Madness, NBA Finals. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe
with
we
all
have
these
the
bowls,
Boobies
man.
World Shooters U Bowl next year, man.
Bowl.
We good. We gonna stay away from the mayo and Pop Tarts.
They're eating mayo.
All right, we're gonna take a break. Worst takes, dumbest takes
take.
of the week.
Oh,
Straight
my
ahead.
God.
Don't
I
go
got
anywhere. Welcome on back into Booby's World right here on the Big Play Network. I am Nick Padone. He's Daniel Booby Gibson, Rafa Hernandez Brito, El Calde.
That's me.
Joining us as well. And Raf, this is your time to shine, man.
Uh-oh.
It is the dumbest take of the week. Again, a peek behind the curtain. We got a little show group chat
We are
that's
keeping
going.
tabs on social media here.
We keep an eye out on what's going on, and we got a little show group chat with our producer and show writer and some of the social guys that work on the show. And Raf sends in these tweets and just rips them to shreds in this group chat. So this one, hey man, I'm just teeing them up. These are Raf's dumbest takes.
Let's see it.
I'm
Let's hear
sorry
it.
that we have to do this to you. This one goes out to Daryl Ryder at 92.3 The Fan. Says, no Dustin Hopkins cost the Browns 7 points.
Dumb.
Not great to not have a backup kicker plan. Raf, what say you on the Browns not having a contingency plan at kicker?
dumb because nobody ever has a contingency play. A kicker. Chief Njoku wanted to kick, and Stefanski didn't want to let him because he didn't want to get hurt. Right. And I knew they were going to get hurt. First of all, I knew Dustin Hopkins was going to get hurt running 80 miles an hour down the field trying to catch the guy returning the kickoff. And then I knew Bojorquez was going to get hurt trying to kick because it's a whole different session. But the best part of the dumbest mistake of the week, by who? We got to mention him by name. We don't want to.
Daryl Ryder.
Huh?
Daryl Ryder.
Him.
Why do I gotta say it?
The best part was Kevin Stefanski in the post-game conference when he raised the same issue. This is the game that the Browns beat your Texans, by the way, and played without a kicker for like a quarter and a half, like 3 quarters almost, right? Yeah. And the punter tried to kick, and then he couldn't, and then whatever. And they have to keep going on 4th down. And Flacco threw 2 interceptions because you and I could have intercepted a pass that Sunday because everybody knew he was throwing the ball. But they won. And they won handily, I think. It wasn't
okay.
But he questioned the coach for not having a backup plan, and Stefanski's answer was like, you know what? I'm really surprised you get a credential for this. Sometimes I question why you get a credential.
So this is from a parody account. Roth loves this parody account. This is Kevin Grand here on Twitter. Not a real account. It's a fake Browns reporter, but Roth loves them. It is fake. It's somebody making jokes, and he put out there that Kevin Stefanski on not having a backup plan at kicker. Sometimes I wonder how you have a press pass, but that's a fake account.
I know.
Kevin didn't actually say that. Fake account.
I love that though. I love that. I think that that's my account.
We know
it might be Rob's.
We found Rob's burner.
Yeah. But I think that is exactly what Kevin Stefanski would have loved to tell him, right? Yeah. I mean, come on. You're really going to question not having, in a team where you are, on a team that has lost almost a quarter of the roster for the rest of the season, and you can only carry 60 people, 60 players for 3 units, you're really going to carry a backup kicker? Come on.
Yeah. No backup.
Chief Njoku wanted to kick, by the way.
That was
and
funny.
He wasn't allowed.
That was funny. He was like, Coach, can I do it?
Yeah, come on, I do it. I'm strong.
He said, no, I'm not gonna let you do it. That was so funny.
Like,
Go
come
check
on, I'm
that
strong.
out. Go check that out on the Browns social media. Straight ahead, we're going to wrap the show. More Booby's World. Don't go anywhere. Welcome on back into Booby's World right here on the Big Play Network. What a show, guys. I mean, we heard about Ralph getting bullied in Paris. We ripped apart poor Daryl Ryder, who really does a pretty good job covering the Browns. And then we got a lot of good insight on what's going on around the league with our Cavs, with the Lakers. Any parting thoughts from you guys?
Go Cavs.
Yeah.
I'll see you in Paris. You want me to bring anything back from
I know.
Paris?
You know what? I was actually thinking about that. I was like, what could I have Roth bring back? Like
French fries. Movie wants French fries.
They said they're not even from France.
They're not from France. That's the issue.
French fries and French toast. That's all I know.
French toast?
All I know is...
But we'll solve that right now.
It's
You guys,
it's a Cavs home game, and I'm sitting on the floor in Paris. So I want every game to be held in Paris. So I'm going to be there. We're going to be...
I love that for you.
Just tune into the Cavs app, tune into Bally Sports, tune into, because everybody's going. Bally Sports is going, and obviously, Tim Alcorn on the English side, and yours truly for the Spanish. So we're bringing the full contingency of broadcast. So.
Guys, I got some bad news.
Okay.
French toast was invented long before France even existed. The first known recorded
So how do they call it French toast?
For French toast comes from Rome around 300 AD. The Roman author included in his famous cookbook titled Cooking and Dining in the Imperial Rome.
So why do they call it French toast if France didn't exist?
For centuries, the French themselves even called this dish Roman bread.
Okay, well,
so that's your fun fact.
See, I told you how weird.
I know absolutely nothing about it.
Same. I don't even know what. A surprise.
I'll bring you a chocolate croissant.
Here we go. Just anything on France, we good. Anything you
An
got.
informational book, like a pamphlet of
Something.
just like all these things that are supposedly
All
French,
the
but
things
they're
that
not.
are not French.
Yeah, that's surprise to everyone.
That'll work for
It'll be that'll be fun. And Ralph, obviously super jealous that you get to go out there. I mean, we're gonna be busy. We're gonna be holding it down here, but then also getting ready to travel around for Browns in the playoffs. We got
Yeah,
a bunch
man.
of fun stuff going on with the show. You're not gonna want to miss. So make sure to follow Booby's World on all your favorite social media platforms. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube. Follow all the other big play shows. But we are going to be, what's Alf telling you there, Booby? We're going to be hitting the
Vote
road.
for Donovan
We're gonna be
Mitchell,
doing all
Darius
kinds of
Garland,
fun
Evan
things.
Mobley,
That's
Jared
what he
Allen.
said, man.
Vote
for your
Cavs.com.
Cavs votes.
Come on, man. Get
we
out the
gotta
vote.
have Donovan Mitchell in the All-Star game. That would be just weird, like eerily weird. I think he's got one more thing to say.
Yeah, just tune in to Booby's World. Man.
We'll see you guys next week.